wanted to go into something you always say. People say, what is the solution? I know they ask you, and you always say, hold on a minute. You're talking about a solution. You're going one step too far. We need to remove the cause of the problem. That's really what we need to do first. And I wanted to ask you, because I know in the decades of research that you've done and in the travels, and you've gone into many different cultures and tribes and looked into our history and the history of very different cultures. And I noticed in doing some of the same things, a theme. And the theme that I noticed in many cultures and tribes is that when they tell about their history, they almost all say there was a time when we lived in harmony with nature, with each other. It was a very peaceful, blissful time. And almost all described that at some point, strangers arrived that brought about this darkness, warfare. And the proof is in the pudding. If we look at the world today, it's absolutely that. But how do we remove this cause, this darkness, especially if we can agree, if not just on a spiritual level, but also on a physical level, that this force doesn't appear to be human? How do we remove this root cause?
Well, there are many levels to that, obviously. I mean, we can go into the nature of the force that's behind this global cult, the force that these Satanists in the global cult worship in their rituals. And it's a non-human force. I mean, as you say, I looked and met so many people around the world in different cultures and looked at what the cultures say and what the legends say, what the accounts say. And again, you're seeing a non-human force being described as a manipulator of human society. And it seems to take a reptilian form, not only a reptilian form, but that seems to be the dominant force, the one that's really calling the shots. But then you can go deeper and you can say, well, it doesn't matter whether we're looking at something that's human or something that's not human, that's reptilian, that's one of these grays. It doesn't matter in the foundation of it all, because how that form, if you like, behaves is dictated by its perception. So what we're looking at the bottom of this rabbit hole is a state of perception. And you mentioned it earlier. I've been talking about a mind virus for decades, a mind virus that's manipulating human perception and directing human psychology. And then much more recently, I came across the concept in the Native American arena in terms of the description of a mind virus, which they call Wetiko, at least the Cree tribal group do. And I read about Wetiko and I thought, this is exactly the mind virus I've been writing about. And it's a state of consciousness that's incredibly distorted and inverted. That's why it inverts everything. If you look at the Satanists, they invert all their symbols. Their symbols are the inverted pentagram, the inverted cross. Everything is upside down. And if you look at the word evil, it's the word live written backwards. And that's very appropriate because this Wetiko consciousness, which drives these reptilians and drives this global cult, drives your Gateses and drives your Faucis and drives your Klaus Schwabs. It's a inversion of love. In fact, my definition of evil is the absence of love. You take love out and you've got evil. You put love in and evil is gone. And so it sounds trite and simplistic, but it's not. It's profound. The answer to evil is not more evil. What you fight, you become. It's love. And what we've done, and it's been systematically distorted on purpose, is lost the meaning of love. We now connect in the human expression of it, love with attraction. Now, it can be part of it can be attraction. It can be a physical attraction. But the love I'm talking about is well beyond that. Love is that which connects us to outside this madhouse, which I say is a simulation, actually, to that which drives the vast, overwhelming majority of infinite consciousness, infinite possibility, and that's love. And what's happened is that humans have been manipulated into a fake reality, a simulation, think matrix, that has sought to disconnect us, to separate us from that enormity of love. And what is love? Love is all that is, has been, and ever can be. Love is all possibility. Love is all potential. Love is that which says, I will always do what I know to be right, and I will not think about consequences, because to think consequences will be to consider not doing what I know to be right. I'm doing what I know to be right because I'm coming from love. Love, through this heart vortex, is how we connect with the great beyond, outside of this mind prison, which is what it is. This simulation is this matrix is a mind prison, a perception prison.